Yeah guys, Sean McLean here from Sean's Rabbitry and Aquaponic Produce.
Sean Austin.
So today, we're going to go through a little bit of what you could do during this quarantine period here in Trinidad. It can actually be a benefit to you in your rabbitry. There are a lot of chores that you may have been slacking on that you could actually get time to catch up on now. So we're going to talk a little bit about those things. Like weighing your rabbits, right? Record keeping, very important. Keep up to date with your records. Culling those that may not be as productive as you would want them to be. Other things like sanitation, very important. You could focus on making sure that your rabbitry is clean, doing proper sanitation protocols. Planting more forage food, especially in this time where a lot of people worried about the availability of feed. Now I know we have discussed it in our videos. Be pretty okay, but for you to be okay, what you should have been doing is planting more forage. So that's another thing that you could do. Right, so stay tuned. You'll get into all these aspects right after the intro.
So guys, we're back. Today, of course, like I said, we're going to be looking at some of the things that I plan to do during this 2-week period that we're basically going to be staying indoors. There's always a lot of work to be done in the rabbitry. First and foremost, something I've been meaning to do for a couple months now and I haven't gotten around to it was to remove my buck cages from where they were and change them to another location now. If you can see that wall behind me right there, right, that is where my buck cages were hung previously, but I decided to move them because during the last year or two we've noticed a couple of our bucks have gone through a period of sterility, especially during the hotter months of the dry season coming down to June, July, August into September there. So this year, before it gets really hot, we are going to move the buck cages to a new location where there's a lot more ventilation, and hopefully that will keep them a lot cooler and help us to stave off that little sterility period that we tend to go through from time to time. Okay, so this is the area where my buck cages were initially hung. I haven't moved the line as yet. You can see how the wall has been stained with urine over the past couple of years. So we're going to be moving, if I spin around here, we're going to be moving them down to an area right here. Alright, so this is the cage here. Right, 1, 2, it has 6 compartments for the 6 bucks that we keep. I know some of you keep a lot more bucks, but as we primarily do artificial insemination, we don't need to keep as many bucks. Hey guys, so that is the project I'm going to be working on today, to move those buck cages. But for the rest of you guys, I mean, this would be the perfect opportunity to get on top of your record keeping. Now we did 2 videos on record keeping. That was last week and I think the week before. We spoke about how important it is to have proper record keeping in your rabbitry in order to have a successful operation. This is the perfect time, guys, to get those notebooks, get those cage cards, get your software, start playing around with it, whichever method you decide to choose. This is the perfect time to start gathering data so you could start to fully and properly analyze your production to know how to optimize it. Now we are generally always on top of our record keeping because I update our software daily. Another thing that I noticed that we're gonna need in the next week or two are additional nest boxes. So you guys who, if you use lumber to build your nest boxes, this will be the perfect time to start, you know, cutting some lumber and putting some boxes together. We generally use plastic nest boxes that we purchase. You can see one here. It's a Rubbermaid container that we purchase. There's another type that we use as well. Look right here. These plastic ones, these were the ones we used initially. Right, but now we switched to the red ones. But within the last 3 days, we had 32 liters being kindled, and I observed that we're running a bit short on boxes because there were some that we did before that, and we have about another 20 something those that are due within the next 2 weeks. So we're definitely going to need some more boxes. Might be a bit difficult now to acquire these plastic ones, seeing as those stores may be closed as they're not considered an essential service. So as a last resort, I may look at acquiring some lumber, some plywood, and building probably 15-20 additional boxes that we're going to use until we could acquire some more of the plastic ones. Of course, since we talking about things to do and we mentioned record keeping, something that is going to come out of that obviously is the culling of those ore bucks that aren't productive. Now we don't have much problem with ore bucks because I say we only keep 6 bucks right now, so it's mainly those that we constantly check on for performance. And with the last, as I said, we had 32 liters over the last 3 days. Some of those were first time those that didn't do so well, there were a few of them that made small litters like 3, one doe made 2, a couple of them made 4, but they were first time those, so they're definitely gonna get a second chance at it. Like I said before, we give all our does 2 tries. Might seem harsh to some people, but it works for us and it helps us to eliminate non-performance at a very early stage. So they're definitely gonna get a second try, and we'll see how that goes. But for the older does, there are a couple older does as well that made good litters, good size litters like 8 and 9. But over the last couple of days, a few of them died, so they're remaining with 4 and 5 and things like that. Some of those does will also be culled from the herd, because I mean, anytime your production starts to fall off, that's a sign that it's time for you to also fall off. Right? Let me see. Of course, you're gonna have all the other general duties like weighing your litters, all part of record keeping. You're gonna be weaning litters. I have a couple litters to wean as well. I'll probably film that for the next video. I don't think I'll be able to do that today. In terms of selling meat, things will be a bit slow right now because not much people are outside moving around, so sales will obviously be a bit slow for everyone. But don't let that stop your production. That's where packaging comes in. We use a vacuum sealer, so when our meat is processed and cut up, we make packets that we vacuum seal that can last for a much longer time in the freezer. As long as you have sufficient storage, it shouldn't be a problem. Get that meat processed, because as soon as things clear up, we're gonna start running sales again and everything should get back to where it was. Breeding, perfect time to get some breeding done. Nothing has really changed for us where breeding is concerned, because we have a routine that we stick to generally. So whether we would have been here or not, we would have been keeping up with our breeding schedule. Breeding for us isn't that laborious because, like I said, we do artificial insemination. So we breed large numbers of those each day within an hour time. You know, within an hour generally we breed 30-40 does. and that's basically it for the week, more or less. But if you're doing natural breeding, it takes a bit longer. So, I mean, now would be the perfect time to really get on top of your breeding. Just remember, if you're new to breeding, always take the doe to the box cage and always try to breed during the cooler hours of the day. So early in the morning or late in the afternoon, those are the best times to breed. I usually prefer early at mornings because the box would have had the entire night to cool off, and they're more active at night. So coming into the early morning, they would still be up and about, really active, and it's prime time to get some breeding done. So guys, definitely think about that. Yeah guys, since we're on record keeping as well and we're talking about things to do during this time here, tattooing is something you could catch up on as well. That is something that I myself have to do some catching up on. There are a number of rabbits that I am planning to keep and they need to be tattooed. So I've been sort of procrastinating a bit as I had so many other things doing, but that's definitely something I want to get done. I know a couple other guys, Job and you guys, and who bought recently, even Jason, who recently bought tattoo kits. Now is the perfect time, guys, to get all your tattooing done, get all those rabbits labeled. You know, it's certainly going to help with your record keeping. Of course, as you are doing your tattooing or your record keeping, in fact, in general, this would be the best time really to select some rabbits for future breeders. We ourselves have some of that to do. Right, so we have a big number of fryers here. All of them are approximately 8 weeks old. From these, I'm going to be selecting 10 does and 3 bucks that I'm going to keep, not necessarily as breeding stock for us, but to sell, because I know a lot of persons are looking for breeding stock, right? They are all New Zealand whites and Californians, right? I don't have a head count on them right now, but it's quite a bit. I spin wrong on this side here. On this side, we have some more here, right? All of these guys are youngsters from which we're going to be choosing breeding stock to keep. And on the other side, this is the 4th side now, so we have quite a bit of them. Okay, so I just did a quick head count, and in that area there are 72 fryers, and from that 72 I said I'm going to be keeping the best 10 does and best 3. Probably if they're enough, I might stretch it to the best 5 bucks, because I know a lot of people are looking around for a good breeding box. Like I said, we only have New Zealand white and Californians, so please don't call and ask about Flemish giants and New Zealand reds, and we only have New Zealand whites and Californians right now. So from those 72, I'll probably keep 10 for myself, and I'll select another 5 that I'll put aside to sell as breeding does to other persons. And like I said, 5 bucks, I'll probably keep 3 and keep 2 to grow out as breeding box to sell as well. I could probably keep more, but I believe in only keeping the best of the best. So I'm not gonna just keep a whole bunch of does just to say I have a lot of does for sale. Right, we're only keeping the best, probably the best 1 from each litter, or the best 2 if it's a large litter. If it's a litter about 8, I'll probably keep 2. Anything under 8, I'll only keep 1 from that litter. So, and they're about 2 months old, so probably in the next month, that's 4 weeks to 6 weeks time, we'll have those available. So from time to time, if you're interested in breeding stock, just contact us either by leaving a comment below the video or contact us on WhatsApp. All our contact information will be in the description below this video.
Yes guys, so one of the most important things as we discussed is sanitation. Part of sanitation, apart from washing down your ground and making sure that you remove all your rabbit waste, is cleaning your cages, right? So what we're going to do is a brief demonstration on how you remove the hair from your cages using a torch.
Another thing we have planned for this 2-week period, and I think a lot of you guys should have started considering this a long time ago, but over the last few weeks, when people have begun to wonder about essential services and the availability of feed and things like that, a lot of persons have started to really see the importance of growing forages, so you have an alternative to feed your rabbits or to supplement the feed that you're already using. Right, so behind here you can see some trichantera. This is what we grow for our rabbits. No, there are a lot of other grasses. I think I touched on most of them in our video on feeding rabbits. Now look out for the part 2 to that video. I'm going to be linking up with another rabbit farmer who is more knowledgeable on the different forages and the nutritional contents and things like that, and we're going to be bringing a part 2 of that video to you coming soon. Let's just hope that this temporary lockdown period doesn't extend too long so that we don't have to keep pushing things back, but we're going to definitely be bringing that to you. So as you can see, we have loads of trichantera here. Let me turn the camera around. So as you can see, this is another area that I have just outside my rabbitry. It's sort of like a hedge, and we cut from it regularly and it just keeps growing. Right, I spin around on the other side. You can see there it's growing crazy. All this side here, all of this is trichantera. Let me pan up. Some of them are really tall there. Take you guys out to my driveway so I can show you guys what I've started doing with our trichantera, because we have been more and more looking at growing large amounts of forage that we can use to start creating our own feed. The sign there shows Rabbitry and Aquaponic produce. Okay, so this is part of the driveway that runs alongside my house. As you can see here, all of these are trichantera sticks that I planted recently. So as every time we cut trichantera to feed, I utilize the sticks. I plant them along the fence line here. If we look closer, you can see they have already started budding. Some of them, yeah. Look at this guy, you can see it started budding there, you can the top there, yeah. And I've done this along the entire fence line, going all the way down to the end of the driveway there, as far as you can see. I hope you guys can still hear me. I know it's a bit windy out here. Right, so all the way along this fence line, straight down to the end of the driveway, way down there, we planted trichantera, as well as out in the fields out there. There are a couple acres that have cleared down, and we are going to be cultivating those areas with trichantera as well. Now you don't just have to plant trichantera, there are lots of other grasses that you can use. And like I said, that's what we use, right? Because we've had good success with that. but there are other forages that you can grow as well. I know people are using lots of paragrass and elephant grass and things like that. Okay, if you have it in your area, definitely use it. We have a lot of that around the area here in Wallafield as well, but we prefer to grow our own forage so we don't have to worry about areas where persons are spraying pesticides and things like that. That is a concern for most of you out there who are cutting grass along the road. Just be careful where you're cutting your grass, especially if it's in a farming area, because a lot of people are going to be using chemicals and pesticides and things like that, and you don't want grasses that have residue from any of those chemicals.
Hey guys, so giving you a little bonus coverage. While we were doing this video, we actually had a doe that made a litter. So this is bonus video, courtesy Sean's Rabbitry and Aquaponic Produce.
Okay, so as we could see here, she kindled. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, come on, move, 5, 6 live ones, and it looks like 2 stillborn. So we had 2 stillborn and 6 live ones, and she pulled a nice healthy amount of food, so those guys should be nice and warm. Alright. Okay guys, so that was just a quick look at some of the things that we plan to do during this 2-week period here while we're going to be home. I hope you guys capitalize on this time as well. Leave a comment below, let me know some of the things that you plan to have done during this 2-week period, how you're going to utilize your time within your rabbitry. Let me know what you guys are up to out there. We want to hear from you guys. We appreciate the feedback. Next week, please God, we're going to bring you a video on the results of artificial insemination. I know previously we did videos on artificial insemination, but there are a lot of persons out there who still have doubts as to whether or not it really works and how well it works. So I'm going to do a vid next week, please God, showing you all some of the litters, giving you some of the numbers that we got, so you have an idea of how successful or not successful AI could be for you. Until such time, Sean Austin, on behalf of my business partner Sean McLean, look forward to seeing you guys next week, please God, when we bring you another rabbit farming video. And then don't forget, this Wednesday we'll have a brand new aquaponics video, so definitely look out for that. See you guys then, and let me know what you guys are up to.